Moreover, Fan Hai Entertainment aimed to further cultivate her image, and her popularity would only continue to rise. Thus, having a quiet and undisturbed place to reside was essential. Bin Yuan perfectly met this need. Unlike Xia Yudi, whose property was transferred to her name, Zheng Enki's accommodation was merely for her use. In truth, despite Zheng Enki's allure, she was not Chen Zhao's partner, so he did not extend overly generous provisions. Everything was in accordance with the benefits standard established for the company's artists, perhaps slightly elevated, yet still limited. After their meal, Chen Xiao instructed the driver to take Zheng Enki back to Binwen while he headed straight for Jining Airport. On the way back, Zheng Enki found herself lost in thought, holding the key. At her age, prone to whimsical imaginings, combined with her special feelings for Chen Xiao, her mind was filled with a flurry of chaotic thoughts. Did all the artists under the company receive this, or was I the only one? Is my senior providing cars and houses for all the female artists? Does he possess a key to this villa? Would he unexpectedly visit in the middle of the night? Meanwhile, Chen Xiao reclined in the back seat, reviewing the work reports sent by Su Tang. All the companies under his purview were operating normally. Any minor issues had already been handled by Su Tang without requiring Chen Zhao's intervention, who then summarized the causes, processes, and outcomes succinctly. Every day, Chen Xiao only needs to spend half an hour to gain a fundamental understanding of the development status of the various companies under his purview. Upon arriving at the airport, he had yet to finish reviewing the briefing. The convoy quietly waited at the entrance until he completed his reading and put down his phone, at which point the bodyguard exited the vehicle to open the door for him. Accompanied by a group of bodyguards, Chen Xiao proceeded directly to the business class lounge. After passing through security, he boarded the plane ahead of schedule. To his surprise, he encountered the same flight attendant from his previous journey to Baisha. Dressed in a navy blue uniform, black sheer stockings, and a knee-length fitted skirt, with a silk scarf around her neck and exquisite makeup, she radiated a sweet smile. While not breathtakingly beautiful, her charm was undeniable, particularly her figure, which was nothing short of exceptional. Upon seeing Chen Xiao, her face lit up with delight. "Oh, it's you, sir." Chen Xiao nodded, acknowledging the fortuitous encounter. "Indeed, thank you for helping me out last time," she replied. He waved his hand dismissively. It was nothing, just a small favor. The flight attendant, particularly warm upon meeting Chen Xiao again, engaged him in conversation during the flight. Through their discussion, he learned that while the profession of a flight attendant may seem glamorous, it is indeed quite demanding, and the salaries for domestic routes are not particularly high. As Chen Xiao contemplated his imminent purchase of a private jet, he realized that both flight attendants and pilots would be necessary. "Zhao Qian, may I have your phone number?" Their conversation flowed effortlessly, and given Chen Zhao's affluent status, Zhao Qian was more than willing to exchange contact information. After saving her number, Chen Xiao returned to his seat to rest. Drowsily, he felt someone gently draping a blanket over him before succumbing to slumber. He awakened only when the plane touched down. After exchanging greetings with Zhao Qian, Chen Xiao exited the cabin. Although it was nighttime, he immediately sensed the distinctiveness of the air in Lijiang. Taking a deep breath, he found it refreshingly pure and invigorating. Stepping out of the airport, he quickly spotted Sun Ying, who was waiting with a bouquet of flowers and an eager expression. "Senior," Chen Xiao called out. Sun Ying turned, her radiant smile captivating his attention. Many onlookers, drawn to her, began to show signs of heartbreak. As expected, this ethereal beauty leapt into her junior's embrace. In that instant, Chen Xiao felt numerous hostile gazes directed at him from other men. Unfazed, he sought to deliver a striking blow to their envy by lifting Sun Ying's delicate face and bestowing a passionate kiss in public, eliciting sighs of disapproval from older onlookers and envious admiration from the younger crowd. Chapter 271. Conversations at the tavern with so many people watching, Sun Ying playfully chided. Chen Xiao replied, somewhat incredulous. "Has it really been 5 minutes? You only just realized? Senior, you've changed. You're no longer the knight who would gallop across the basketball court at midnight." Sun Ying's cheeks flushed, and she quickly covered Chen Zhao's mouth. "Stop it. Let's go." With that, she pulled him away from the crowd. 5 cars had arrived early from Baisha to meet Sun Ying in Lijiang and were now waiting at the roadside. Once inside the vehicle, Sun Ying shed her reserve and dove into Chen Xiao's embrace. After a month apart, Sun Ying found herself dreaming countless times of the figure that captivated her heart and soul. Fortunately, Lao Lu, with his extensive experience, possessed the remarkable ability to selectively tune out the world around him, focusing solely on what lay ahead. The 55, where Chen Xiao resided, had been completely engulfed by a wave of affection. It was only upon arriving at the hotel that Sun Ying and Chun Xiao parted ways. Chun Xiao glanced at the hotel and inquired, "Is this the place you mentioned that your friend owns?" "Indeed," she replied. "This month, I've completed numerous landscape designs for her, so I have access to a complimentary room here." Chun Xiao exclaimed, "Impressive." The hotel's decor is a splendid fusion of modernity and tradition, creating an ambience that stirs the soul. "Ah, Ying, is this the junior you mentioned? Come, join us," called out a lively group on the hotel as first floor. Filled with artistic charm, a gathering of individuals was engaged in lively conversation over drinks. Sun Ying halted her ascent and turned to Chun Xiao, saying, "Come on, let me introduce you to some new friends." Chun Xiao, feeling exasperated, thought it was not the ideal time for socializing when he was burning with urgency. Shouldn't they be attending to more pressing matters? Yet, for Sun Ying's sake, he temporarily held back his impatience, as the longer one suppresses their feelings, the more intense the eventual release. As they approached, Sun Ying introduced Chun Xiao to a group consisting of 4 women and 1 man. He only remembered that the hotel owner was named Wang Shuman, while the others were proprietors of ghost houses in Lijiang, appearing as affluent figures in the eyes of ordinary people. They often gathered to share drinks and engage in conversation, leading a leisurely and languid lifestyle unique to Lijiang. Chun Xiao couldn't help but marvel at why so many people yearned for such a life. These women spent their days contemplating how to enjoy themselves, interacting with tourists from far and wide, each day bringing forth different tales, sometimes leading to fleeting romances. Although the majority of these encounters bore no lasting outcomes, they left behind a tapestry of vibrant memories. This group of individuals embodied a blend of sensitivity, nonchalance, and a charm that was both conventional yet refreshingly unconventional. Chun Xiao found himself quite fond of them, appreciating their candidness and the lack of pretense in their interactions. Naturally, their humor was unrestrained. "Ying, your little pup is quite striking, particularly that masculine waist. Impressive indeed. I got experience," one teased. Chun Xiao thought, "What on earth?" As the group continued to drink and jest freely, Sun Ying made a concerted effort to ensure Chun Xiao felt at ease, inadvertently providing the others with ample material for their playful banter. Before long, Chun Xiao noticed that the only man present who exhibited a slight effeminacy maintained a cool composure when joking about others. But when it came to Sun Ying, he was consistently protective. Chun Xiao frowned slightly, prompting Wang Shuman to clarify. "Chun Xiao, you needn't concern yourself with Wang Lang. He merely aspires to reach beyond his grasp. But he's a decent fellow, rest assured." Wang Lang rolled his eyes, retorting, "I have the freedom to like whoever I choose, even if she has a boyfriend." Chun Xiao, feeling a loss for words, simply said, "All right then, take your time with that. Senior, let us return to our room." Wang Lang added, "Take care of yourself." Chun Xiao was momentarily taken aback. What an eccentric individual indeed. After the two departed, Wang Lang became the target of everyone's playful jests. "What is this? Our romantic prince is transforming into a devoted one?" Wang Lang retorted defiantly in the crowd. "I searched for her 1,000 times." Wang Shuman burst into a fit of laughter. "Enough, enough. You're searching for what? Those two might well be on the verge of starting a family tonight." Wang Lang remained unfazed. "It's all right. I could be the backup and stay prepared to embrace fatherhood at any moment." The crowd chimed in. "When it comes to eccentricity, you take the cake." As the night deepened, even the slightest sound echoed magnified. Wang Shuman pointed upwards. "Look, I have an eye for people with that physique and build. It takes more than a couple to satisfy him. What a gem of a junior." Wang Lang's expression shifted awkwardly. "In that case, I think Chun Xiao is rather splendid too." Wang Shuman and the others trembled slightly. "Whoa. Didn't T notice you were open to both genders?" Wang Lang rolled his eyes. "I'm done with this. It's dull. You're all making a fuss like a bunch of startled leaks." With that, he pushed the door and left. Wang Shuman and her companions exchanged glances, adding yet another topic for their midnight discussions. The following day, Chun Xiao was awakened by the piercing sunlight. Upon opening his eyes, he beheld an azure sky, remarkably profound. The clouds floated leisurely in the gentle breeze, and below, the brook babbled crystal clear, suffusing the air with the essence of sunlight. The cobblestone streets shimmered under the sun's embrace, while passers-by navigated through the unique architecture of a Nashi ethnic group, crafting a breathtaking tableau of human and landscape in harmony. Immersed in such an environment, one couldn't help but desire to cast aside all burdens as tranquility enveloped the spirit. Sunlight caressed Sun Ying's delicate, fair skin, seeming to emit a soft halo. "Get up, accompany me for a stroll." "No, I'm not awake yet," she murmured, turning over to indulge in the comfort of her bed. Chun Xiao seized the moment to lie down beside her. All right then, I'll join you in this laziness for a while. Sun Ying immediately sprang from the bed. Let us go. I suddenly feel like venturing out. Chapter 272. Taking full advantage, the pair descended from the upper floor to find Wang Shuman lounging in a deeply slit cheongsam, basking in the sun on a rocking chair. Wow, the commotion you two caused last night was quite something. Sun Ying's cheeks flushed with embarrassment. I'm sorry, Sister Shuman. Wang Shuman waved her hand dismissively. Just what we needed for a snack, little brother. Do you still have the energy for tonight? Chun Xiao chuckled. A 3-day, 3-night battle is nothing to me. Wang Shuman giggled, teasing, Ying is quite fortunate. Sun Ying chimed in, well, it's a mix of pain and pleasure. Chun Xiao added, the hotel has prepared a self-service breakfast. Seated on the balcony, Chun Xiao smoked a cigarette while Sun Ying selected her favorite dishes. Just then, Wang Lang stealthily approached, holding a food container. Ying, here, I made you a heartfelt breakfast. Sun Ying replied, thank you, but that is unnecessary. Oh, come on, take it, Wang Lang insisted. Forcing the lunchbox into her hands, the pastry chef at Sister Shuman's place is rather unsanitary. I've seen her wipe her nose and not wash her hands before kneading the dough. Sun Ying retorted, Wang Lang. I'll say this one last time. I have a boyfriend, so just give up. Wang Lang curled his lips, seemingly indifferent, and remarked, I await your breakup. You. Sun Ying glared in anger. Rest assured, I will not break up. Wang Lang clearly did not believe her, scoffing, with a boyfriend who looks like that. How could he not stray with all those girls throwing themselves at him? Sun Ying chuckled. You needn't worry. My boyfriend has several girlfriends, so he has no need to cheat. Now step aside. Wang Lang's jaw dropped. Is that even possible? Ying, be gone. She retorted. Those words are not for you. If Chun Xiao hears you, I swear I'll smack you. With that, she shoved her lunchbox back towards him, picked up her chosen food, and turned to leave. As she passed the front desk, she couldn't resist adding, Sister Shuman, Wang Lang says your dumpling lady is quite messy. What? You little rascal, just wait. Wang Shuman fumed. Wang Lang remarked, in the morning, the time is just right, and a beautiful companion by one's side makes for a delightful meal. In such a serene atmosphere, even the simplest fare tasted delightful to Chun Xiao. Moreover, the amusing episode of the dumpling lady brandishing a rolling pin in pursuit of Wang Lang added a touch of levity. Chun Xiao mused that if he were thick-skinned, then Wang Lang was utterly devoid of shame. After being chased around by the dumpling lady, he returned to Wang Shuman's hotel as if nothing had transpired, sitting at the same table with Chun Xiao and the others, engaging in conversation. Sun Ying shared her aspiration to open a guest house. Being in the same circle, she sought their advice, hoping for their insights. The group exchanged glances, unsure of how to respond. It wasn't that they feared competition. Lijiang was large enough to accommodate all hotels, and Sun Ying's intended location was by Lugu Lake. Noticing the unease on their faces, Sun Ying inquired, Sister Shuman, is there a problem? Wang Shuman sighed, setting down her teacup. There are several concerns. Firstly, funding. I'm unsure of your budget, but properties near Lugu Lake are quite pricey, and environmental regulations are stringent. Chun Xiao chuckled. Money is not an issue. Wang Lang rolled his eyes. What a grand statement. I haven't even said money isn't a problem. Are today's university students so inflated with confidence? Chun Xiao chose to ignore Wang Lang's nonsense and continued. What other obstacles are there? Before Wang Shuman could respond, Wang Lang interjected, the most significant obstacle is that you need to secure approval from Biao Ge to proceed. Chun Xiao was taken aback. Who is this Biao Ge? Wang Shuman explained, he is a local bigwig who established some sort of hotel industry association. Chun Xiao asked, does he have any qualifications? Silence fell over the group. Even Wang Lang, usually so talkative, hesitated to speak. Chun Xiao realized that this Biao Ge was someone they all feared. However, Chun Xiao felt entirely confident in dealing with such matters. What were these local tyrants but mere rubbish? Very well, I understand. Senior, let us go scout locations this afternoon and aim for an early opening. Sun Ying hesitated. Someone whom Wang Shuman and the others regarded with such trepidation was not to be trifled with. She didn't want to bring trouble to Chun Xiao. Perhaps we should wait. I can visit the holy city in the Tibetan region first. No, we shall remain here. Chun Xiao had no intention of changing locations. Wang Lang furrowed her brow slightly. Chun Xiao, you have yet to step beyond the confines of the campus and remain oblivious to the realities of society. One must understand their own capabilities. One can only accomplish as much as one is capable of. Chun Xiao smiled faintly, taking Sun Ying by the hand as they made their way out. Pausing at the door, He turned back and said, "Oh, by the way, Sister Schumann, could you kindly inform Biaozi to meet me at Lugu Lake? My time is limited, and it would be best to resolve everything in one go." With that, he exited. Before long, 5 luxurious vehicles came to a halt in front of the hotel. Over 20 bodyguards clad in black emerged, escorting Chen Xiao to the car before they sped away, leaving Wang Lang and the others in stunned silence. 5 luxury cars. That must be worth at least 10 million. Is this fellow really just a university student? Are students nowadays this formidable? Wang Schumann teased Wang Lang. "So, what do you think, sister? How do you assess his capabilities?" Wang Lang, feeling bashful, rolled her eyes dramatically and retorted, "He is a pure man." At the shores of Lugu Lake, the azure waters mirrored the fluffy, white clouds above. In the distance, the mountains rose majestically, lush and verdant. The lake's crystal-clear waters offered breathtaking beauty from every angle. Sunning spread her arms wide, reveling in the stunning scenery. "What do you think? Do you still want to give up this place?" Sunning hesitated, but Chen Xiao smiled reassuringly. "Senior, please rest easy." After glancing at Chen Zhao's bodyguards, Sunning nodded. "All right, I'll take you to see a selected project." "Yes, let us go." They walked a considerable distance before arriving at a small lakeside inn, which consisted of only a few rooms. Its neglect rendered it somewhat desolate. Chen Xiao was speechless. "Is this it?" Sunning nodded. "It's inexpensive here. We can partner up. We each invest half, and I'll manage it. We can split the profits." Chen Xiao chuckled. "Aren't you at a disadvantage? You're putting the same amount, but giving away your effort." Sunning playfully scolded. "You ungrateful wretch. Haven't I already devoted my efforts to you? What losses have I not endured in your presence? You've enjoyed all the benefits." Chen Xiao replied, "Ahem, it's not the same. I've been quite exhausted too." Sunning interjected, "Oh, stop your banter and let South see how this place fares." Chen Xiao, somewhat disinterested, remarked, "What a rundown place. It's not impressive. Let us explore another option." Chapter 273. Are you up for it? Huh. You've already found something you like upon arrival? Chen Xiao smiled, offering no explanation. The Chinhu Investment Company had already dispatched individuals to scout this location in advance, aligning with Chen Zhao's specifications. Seated in the car, he gestured grandly. "Let us head up the mountain." Sunning, puzzled, inquired, "What is the purpose of going up the mountain?" Chen Xiao replied, "Only from the summit can one truly appreciate the entirety of the landscape." Upon reaching the mountaintop, they were greeted by the magnificent view where mountains met the sea. Chen Xiao pointed to a beautiful bay. "Do you see that area? It all belongs to you." Sun Ying's eyes widened in disbelief as she covered her mouth. This is incredible." Chen Xiao continued, "Do not refuse. This is to be my son's inheritance." Sun Ying retorted, "But what if it's a daughter?" Chen Xiao laughed heartily. "Then it shall be her dowry." Sun Ying marveled at the project Chen Xiao had in mind, which spanned over 200 acres, valued at more than 600 million. Chinhu Investment Company has successfully negotiated with the relevant authorities to construct a comprehensive tourism resort town that embodies green, eco-friendly principles and features distinct national characteristics, with a projected total investment of 1.5 billion. Sun Ying nestled in Chen Zhao's embrace, feeling the gentle breeze caress her hair atop the mountain. Surrounded by deep affection, she felt an overwhelming sense of security, fully comprehending her desires in this moment. Several serendipitous fairies and her everlasting beloved. As Chen Xiao tenderly stroked her hair, he could sense the depth of Sun Ying's emotions. "Let us name it Snow Mountain Town," she murmured against his chest, nodding in agreement. Before long, Sun Ying's phone rang. "Hello, Sister Schumann. What is the matter?" "Ying, as per your boyfriend's request, I've invited Biao Gu over. What do you think?" Sun Ying covered the microphone and relayed the situation to Chen Xiao. After pondering for a moment, Chen Xiao took the call, instructing them to meet him at the harbor. Wang Schumann was taken aback. The location Chen Xiao mentioned was rather desolate. "Chen Xiao, I wouldn't recommend meeting there. It's south and isolated place, and there are quite a few people around." "It's fine. I'll wait for them here," he replied before hanging up. Wang Schumann sighed, feeling compelled to relay the truth. "Biayi," stroking his bald head and tugging at his large gold chain, scoffed, "What kind of person dares to summon me?" Wang Schumann smiled apologetically. "He's just a kid. Please don't take it too personally, Biao Ge. Oof. In this territory, they should know better than to challenge me. Brothers, let's move." With a wave of his hand, over 40 of his underlings piled into 5 vans, tailing his Mitsubishi SUV towards Lugu Lake. Wang Schumann, feeling uneasy, called a few friends to follow in their cars, ensuring they could report any potential dangers. Chen Xiao and his team descended from the mountain, waiting at the agreed location. His intention was to address any issues now rather than wait for trouble to come later, thus avoiding unnecessary trips in the future. Sitting together with Lei Ting, Chen Xiao smoked. The other bodyguards, few in number, refrained from smoking during work. The cigarettes Chen Xiao provided were simply stashed in their pockets. The two engaged in idle conversation, discussing how Lei Ting's elderly mother had fully recovered. Over the past few months, Chen Xiao had given the brothers over 200,000 in bonuses and wages, allowing them to build a new house for their mother back home. She now raised a flock of chickens and ducks, with many eggs from Chen Xiao's home being delivered by Lei Yong. They waited until the afternoon when a cloud of dust from a distant convoy appeared. Chen Xiao's bodyguards immediately went on high alert. Eventually, 6 vehicles came to a stop. Ma Biao, observing the 5 substantial cars, thought to himself that these were no ordinary characters. However, knowing that a strong dragon does not dominate a local snake, he was not particularly concerned about these incoming outsiders. Stepping out of the vehicle, a dark mass of underlings followed him. "So you're Chen Xiao?" Ma Biao inquired. Chen Xiao regarded the man clad in a floral shirt, adorned with a large gold chain, a scar marking his bald head, and smiled faintly. "Indeed, you must be a Biao, correct?" Ma Biao was taken aback. He glanced back at his subordinate. The last time he was called a Biao was during his debut. "Kid, do you not know how to write the word death?" Chen Xiao mused to himself. "I have heard that operating a hotel here requires your approval." Ma Biao arrogantly replied, "That's right. Without the association's endorsement, no one can open a hotel in this territory." Chen Xiao smiled. "Then pray tell, how can one obtain your association's approval?" For ordinary folks, merely offering 20% of the shares suffices. You, however, are so blind that you won't even get a chance to present that. I'm curious to see how you intend to proceed. A Biao, is it possible for me to bypass your association and still open a hotel? Ma Biao erupted in fury. "How dare you call me a Biao? You little brat. You think you can open a hotel? I'll make sure to crack your head open today. Brothers, charge." "Wait," Chen Xiao bellowed. The crowd was momentarily stunned, genuinely intimidated. Ma Biao inquired, "What do you want? Beg for mercy?" Chen Xiao gestured towards a nearby grove. "The road is bustling with people. It's disruptive. Shall we converse over there?" Ma Biao touched his polished head, pondering if this kid was a fool. Could he not see the vast difference in their numbers? At that moment, Wang Shuman and others arrived, hurriedly trying to mediate. "Brother Biao, we are all friends. It's a misunderstanding. Please calm down. I'll arrange things for you tonight." "Get lost, you worthless wretch. Once I'm done with this brat, I'll deal with you." Wang Shuman's face paled, having arrived late. She was unaware of what had transpired or why Ma Biao was so enraged. Little did she know, Chen Xiao had never intended to let things slide. For a local bully like him, only instilling fear would suffice for a permanent solution. Reasoning and kind words were futile in such matters. "Please," Chen Xiao said. Ma Biao cracked his neck, producing a series of popping sounds. "I'll make you kneel and call me grandfather." Chen Xiao paid him no heed and led his group toward the grove. Ma Biao followed closely behind with his men. Chen Xiao turned to look, pulled out a cigarette, and gestured to Ma Biao. "Care for a smoke?" Ma Biao exclaimed. "Are you out of your mind?" Chen Xiao retorted, "You ungrateful fool." After cursing, he lit up his cigarette. Ma Biao turned to his subordinates. "Damn it, who knows which landlord's foolish son this is?" This elicited a round of laughter from his men. Upon reaching the grove, Chen Xiao, cigarette in mouth, turned and looked at Ma Biao with a smirk. "Did you just say you'd kneel and call me grandfather?" Chapter 274. "Thank you, Brother Xiao." "Damn it, brothers, let's finish him off." Unable to restrain himself any longer, Ma Biao waved his hand and charged forward. Those in this line of work were typically brave and fierce, and fighting was second nature to them. Their hideout even had a dedicated arena and gym where the subordinates practiced regularly. Their combat prowess was unmatched. However, unfortunately for them, they encountered Chun Zhao's Black Shield Security, a team composed entirely of elite special forces. Ma Biao and his subordinates, before the members of the Black Shield Security, resembled nothing more than mischievous children. Despite their numbers, they were utterly outmatched. The sounds of fists striking flesh echoed suddenly through the forest. From the very first encounter, Ma Biao sensed trouble. His punch was effortlessly evaded, and his kick was seized by his opponent. Even as his underlings rushed to assist him, they too failed to land a single blow, nearly toppling themselves in the process. Glancing around, Ma Biao noted that each of these suited thugs possessed remarkable skill. "Hey, brother, stop looking around. You're fighting me," Thunder said with a relaxed smile. With one leg caught, Ma Biao could hardly muster any defense. As his subordinate struggled to free him, Thunder grew weary of the game. He sidestepped an attack, then turned and executed a whip kick, sending Ma Biao spinning through the air like a top. With parched lips, Thunder delivered another side kick, launching another lackey several meters away, who landed on the ground, unable to rise. Ma Biao's eyes widened in disbelief, and a ghastly grin appeared on his plump face. Thunder chuckled lightly, then kicked him away, causing him to crash into a tree several meters distant before finally coming to a stop. With Ma Biao on the ground, the skirmish came to a swift conclusion, lasting barely 2 minutes. His subordinates rolled about in agony, wailing in despair, while the Black Shield security members casually stretched and flexed their wrists, clearly having finished a mere warm-up. This was still a restrained bout, deliberately avoiding lethal techniques. Ma Biao lay in the dirt, covered in dust and grass. Chen Xiao discarded the half-smoked cigarette, extinguishing it with his foot, and approached Ma Biao. Squatting beside him, he patted the large man's face and asked, "Who called whom Grandpa?" "You little brat, just wait." Ma Biao, despite being a fierce character, could not bring himself to lose face in front of his subordinates. Chen Xiao smiled, clapped his hands, and stood, saying, "Thunder, take him aside for a chat and let him witness the methods of mercenaries." "Sure thing." With that, 2 bodyguards dragged Ma Biao away. Soon, muffled cries of despair echoed from deep within the woods. About half an hour later, Ma Biao was brought back, his face trembling with fat and his eyes filled with fear as he looked at Thunder. Without a moment's hesitation, he knelt before Chen Xiao. "Sir, I was wrong. Get lost. I have no need for ungrateful descendants like you. Brother, please, I was blind to your greatness. Spare me." Ma Biao pleaded. Chen Xiao squatted down again and offered him a cigarette. Ma Biao hesitated but trembled as he accepted it. Chen Xiao lit it for him and said nonchalantly, "I am investing 1.5 billion in this project. Do you know why?" Ma Biao's heart raced, astonished by the magnitude of the investment. "No, I do not." Chen Xiao patiently explained, "Because my woman enjoys it. I invest for fun." "Ma Biao," Chen Xiao continued, "I would gladly spend 1.5 billion for my woman's preferences. Now, tell me, if someone were to offend me, how much do you think I would be willing to spend to make them pay?" Ma Biao pondered for a moment, his complexion instantly paling. A wealthy man who would lavish 1.5 billion to please his woman would not hesitate to eliminate a small fry like himself, let alone 1.5 billion. Even a mere 100 million would likely attract countless individuals eager to take his life. "Big brother, from now on, you are my big brother," Ma Biao declared resolutely. Since he could not afford to offend him, aligning himself was the wisest choice. Chen Xiao smiled. "You're not as foolish as you appear." Ma Biao suppressed his pain and forced a foolish grin. Chen Xiao summoned Sun Ying and the others, then inquired, "Who is the president of that ridiculous association of yours?" Ma Biao was taken aback. "It's me, your little brother." Chen Xiao's expression grew stern. "I'll ask you again. Who is it?" After a moment of contemplation, Ma Biao suddenly realized, "It's Miss Sun Ying." "Oh no, it's our big sister. From now on, Sun Ying will be our big sister." Chen Xiao nodded. "You're quite perceptive. Seeing your sister, from this day forth, you shall be the president of this foolish association." Sun Ying, utterly speechless, replied, "I refuse to be the president of this ridiculous association." Chen Xiao, Ma Biao, Wang Shuman, and the others, completely astonished. After their venture into the woods, Ma Biao and his companions lay scattered, while Chen Xiao and his subordinates emerged unscathed. They finally realized they had underestimated Chen Xiao. They never anticipated he could make Ma Biao so obedient. However, this was indeed a positive development. The local hotel industry had suffered greatly under Ma Biao's tyranny. And with Sun Ying in place, while others might not know what to expect, at least this circle of friends would receive some care. Chen Xiao addressed Ma Biao. "You all follow me." Yes, Ma Biao dared not defy him, quickly beckoning his lightly injured subordinates to assist him as they followed Chen Xiao out of the woods. Upon reaching one of the large vehicles, Chen Xiao gestured, and someone opened the trunk. Ma Biao and the others were instantly captivated. The trunk was haphazardly filled to the brim with piles of cash. Stacks upon stacks, there was no attempt to organize it, nor any boxes to contain it. More casual than loading a truck with potatoes. Chen Xiao stepped forward, casually sweeping down the stacks of bills, which cascaded to the ground with a clatter. He didn't bother counting the exact amount, only stopping once a heap had accumulated on the floor. "Biaozi." "Yes, Xiao Ge." Ma Biao responded willingly, with a hint of flattery in his tone. "This money is for you, to cover your brother's medical expenses, and for any lost teeth to be replaced. Don't be stingy, use the best." Everyone was taken aback, internally exclaiming how generous their boss was. Ma Biao, filled with excitement, momentarily forgot his pain. This must be hundreds of thousands, if not a couple of million. All right, understood. Xiao Go, I will see to it. Qin Xiao nodded. This project is called Snow Mountain Town, and I hope to encounter no unnecessary troubles during its construction. Do you understand what I mean? Ma Biao thumped his chest in assurance. Xiao Ge, you can rest easy. From now on, I will be at the construction site, ensuring that progress will not slow for even a minute. Once the project is completed, the benefits will undoubtedly flow to you, dear brothers. Just call me brother, and there will be food on your table. Ma Biao, filled with excitement, silently acknowledged that the beating he endured was not in vain. He had successfully latched onto a powerful ally. He promptly instructed his subordinates. Why aren't you expressing your gratitude to Brother Xiao? Instantly, dozens of voices resounded in unison. Thank you, Brother Xiao. Chapter 275. The Abilities of the Tycoon. Chun Xiao waved his hand, stating, I have but one request. Do not engage in illegal activities, for you lack the intelligence and capability for such pursuits. I prefer individuals who can resolve troubles rather than create them. Do you understand? From Chen Zhao's tone, Ma Biao was nearly certain that he had indeed made full use of both his intellect and strength. Brother Xiao, we shall heed your words. Very well. I will provide you with the contact information of a legal consultant. In the future, consult with them before proceeding with any actions, to understand what is permissible and to what extent. Ma Biao was momentarily taken aback, astonished that such an approach was even possible. Previously, their crude methods had involved subordinates taking the blame. They had never considered seeking professional guidance to mitigate risks. He couldn't help but marvel at the prowess of a true tycoon. The era of resolving conflicts solely through brute force had long passed. All right, Brother Xiao. Now, gather the funds and return to address your injuries. It is imperative to expedite your recovery to avoid delaying the project's commencement. Yes. I will disinfect and bandage myself before returning. Rest assured. Having sent Ma Biao and his crew on their way, Qin Xiao turned to Wang Shuman and said, Sister Shuman, thank you for standing up for my senior. It was only then that Wang Shuman and her companions realized the gravity of the situation. They had never anticipated that the notorious Ma Biao and his gang would not only be subdued, but also brought under their wing. There exists an innate respect for the strong among people. Now, when they looked at Sun Ying's Jr., they felt a newfound apprehension. Wang Shuman and her companions, somewhat anxious, hastily waved their hands, exclaiming, Oh, we haven't been of much help. We were unaware of Mr. Chen's true identity. Please do not hold it against us. Chen Xiao smiled gently. We are all friends, and I hope Ying finds happiness in Lijiang. I will undoubtedly rely on your care in the future. Of course, everyone responded eagerly. It was indeed a splendid opportunity to align themselves with a powerful figure. Chen Xiao nodded and proceeded to his vehicle. Just as Sun Ying was about to follow, she was halted by Wang Lang. Furrowing her brow, Sun Ying hesitated. After all, he had come to assist, and it was inappropriate to rebuke him publicly. Yet she could not help but think how oblivious he was to the situation, knowing how formidable Chen Xiao was. He still dared to provoke her. What do you want? Wang Lang fidgeted somewhat awkwardly. Ying, I wanted to inquire about Brother Chen's phone number. Sun Ying's expression darkened further, prompting Wang Lang to hastily clarify. Ying, please don't misunderstand. I merely wish to establish a brotherly bond. Get lost. I warn you to stay away from Qin Xiao, or I will smash your head. With that, she turned on her heel and stormed to the car, slamming the door shut with force. Qin Xiao, puzzled, asked, What is wrong? Sun Ying sighed deeply. That Wang Lang, unable to provoke me, has now set his sights on you. Qin Xiao replied, What a peculiar individual. Rest assured, my inclinations are entirely normal. Sun Ying clutched Qin Xiao's arm and implored him. Promise me, your private life must be confined to the realm of the opposite sex. Qin Xiao, taken aback, retorted, How could I possibly be that kind of person? Sun Ying replied, I read in the news that some wealthy individuals, having grown weary of everything, seek to experience something different. Qin Xiao reassured her, You are overthinking it. I have clear life goals and ideals, and I am not interested in the same sex. Only then did Sun Ying relax, delightfully snuggling into Qin Xiao's embrace. What beauty does not adore a hero? In Sun Ying's eyes, Qin Xiao was an omnipotent hero. He could effortlessly unearth the elusive financial puppeteers he had been pursuing for years and could swiftly deal with the local bullies, even subduing them. Sensing Sun Ying's emotions, Qin Xiao tenderly caressed her smooth shoulder, saying, From now on, you shall be the matriarch here, so you must exude some authority. Sun Ying playfully protested. Matriarch? I shall still be at your mercy. Chun Xiao suggested. Shall we stop the car? No. Let us return to the hotel. At Wang Shuman's hotel, they once again experienced the power of the elite. Sun Ying felt a mix of envy and sympathy towards them, while she herself was blissfully lost in happiness. That night, Chun Xiao tucked Sun Ying in, kissing her forehead. Gazing at her beautiful profile, he couldn't help but wonder if this time, his senior could nurture a new life within her. However, such matters are dictated by fate and cannot be forced. The affairs in Lijiang had been nearly settled. Chun Xiao was preparing to board a flight back to Jining that evening. The Snow Mountain Town project was finalizing contracts, and there was no rush to transfer funds. Once the current steel market boom concluded, he intended to transfer $1.5 billion directly into the Snow Mountain Town Hotel S account while the capital was abundant. At that moment, Tongxiao Capital had completed its investment in 46 steel enterprises. As strikes intensified across various regions, the prices of raw materials and finished products surged dramatically. The stock prices of steel mills also soared in tandem. Chun Xiao had invested over $100 billion in the entire industry and was simply waiting to reap substantial profits. His urgency to return to Jining, having just risen from bed, stemmed from difficulties in the acquisition of a live-streaming company. Initially, negotiations had progressed smoothly, but suddenly someone had intervened. This situation seemed peculiar. In his previous life, the live-streaming industry had not encountered such obstacles. It must be that his actions had triggered a butterfly effect. Chun Xiao even suspected that the Wang family might be orchestrating something behind the scenes. As he journeyed back to Jining, the bodyguards from the Black Shield security firm were also en route to Lijiang. Their team of 30, including 10 female bodyguards, was tasked with ensuring Su Tang's safety and facilitating the smooth progression of the Snow Mountain Town project. Although Ma Biao had pledged allegiance, his nature was akin to a double-edged sword. It was essential to maintain a core strength. The airplane touched down in Jining. The composed and alluring Su Tang, accompanied by the sweet and charming Lin Yanran and the gentle and demure Lin Yanyu, awaited him at the airport, holding a bouquet of flowers. As Chun Xiao emerged, a throng of subordinates immediately rushed to greet him, engaging in cheerful conversation as they accompanied him. Envy must have consumed those waiting for their arrivals, as I could not help but feel a pang of bitterness, wondering why such stunningly beautiful women, akin to celebrities, are often ensnared by the wealthy. In the car, Su Tang accompanied Chun Xiao in the back seat, narrating the process of the recent acquisition. After several rounds of negotiation, the primary shareholders had agreed yesterday to sell the company at an 80 premium to Tongxiao Capital. However, tonight they unexpectedly retracted their agreement without offering any explanation, merely citing a strategic adjustment within the company and postponing the sale. Chun Xiao furrowed his brow, contemplating the unusual nature of the situation. If there were no hidden forces at play, it would indeed be strange. Please arrange a meeting with the chairman. I wish to speak with him personally. Understood, boss. Chapter 276. Early morning in Magic City. Chairman Li Chunfeng was in a rather dismal mood. It was already 11 o'clock at night, yet he found himself compelled to venture out. As the head of a modest startup, he dared not decline the invitation from capital moguls. Upon arrival, he began to question whether he had been led astray. Sitting across from him was a young man who appeared younger than the recent graduates interning at his company. Was this individual truly the chairman of Tongxiao Capital? Apologies, Mr. Li, for summoning you at such a late hour, the young man said with a smirk. Li Chunfeng regained his composure, adjusting his glasses, and replied, No worries. After all, we in the tech industry are accustomed to late nights. I simply did not expect you to be so youthful. Chun Xiao waved his hand dismissively. You're no different. However, I hope age will not serve as an impediment to our business discussions. Li Chunfeng chuckled. Naturally, in the dead of night, Chun Xiao forsook the pleasure of being with a lovely lady to engage in conversation with an older gentleman. He wasted no time and bluntly inquired, Are you dissatisfied with the terms we proposed? Li Chunfeng hastily shook his head. No, it is purely an internal matter within the company. Chun Xiao smirked. Mr. Li, it seems you still regard me as a child. Li Chunfeng quickly denied this, insisting that Chairman Chun had misunderstood his intent. Not at all. Some issues remain obscure to you, much like your belief that the Wang family is an insurmountable behemoth. Chun Xiao, operating under the notion of throwing a dart in the dark, expressed his conjecture. To his surprise, he struck a chord. Li Chunfeng's eyes widened in astonishment. How did you know? Chun Xiao crossed his legs, grinning. Do tell, what conditions have they offered you to dare compete with the Wang family? You must have some inkling of Tongxiao Capital's strength. Li Chunfeng sighed. They offered a slightly higher price than yours, but not in cash. Rather, it was the dividend rights from the companies under their control. Chen Xiao paused, taken aback. Is that permissible? Has the Wang family truly run out of funds? That cannot be. A prominent hidden family surely must have several billions at their disposal. Unbeknownst to Chen Xiao, the Wang family had frivolously expended 50 to 60 billion in the financial markets solely to counter him. It was not a matter of lacking the liquidity to produce several billion in cash, but rather that engaging in fair trade with someone of his stature was entirely unnecessary. By wielding their familial influence, they could easily reveal a modicum of their power, compelling others to acquiesce to their proposals. Then why not sell the company to me? Are you afraid of the Wang family? Li Chunfeng offered no response. The answer was patently clear. Chen Xiao produced a cigarette and extended it, but Wang declined, stating he did not smoke. Thus, Chen lit one for himself. Would you mind sharing your fears? Perhaps I possess the means to alleviate them. Li Chunfeng furrowed his brow in contemplation, mentally weighing the capabilities of Tung Xiao Capital. The mere fact that the Wang family deemed it necessary to oppose them was a testament to their strength. After all, one must possess something of worth to even qualify as a rival to the Wang family. Contemplating this, Li Chunfeng raised his gaze. Chairman Chun, I implore you to maintain confidentiality on this matter. His request stemmed merely from a desire for psychological reassurance. Promises hold little value in the face of self-interest. Chen Xiao nodded, assuring him that he would not disclose it to his arch-nemesis, the Wang family. His sincerity provided Li Chunfeng with a measure of comfort. To be candid, I had no intentions of selling. However, entangled in the Wang family's disputes, I find myself reluctant to become a casualty in the competition among giants. Thus, I contemplated divesting the company and seeking refuge elsewhere. Chen Xiao considered this briefly. It was a common sentiment. If that is the case, why not sell directly to me? Li Chunfeng replied, Chairman Chun, selling to you poses no issue, but the fund from the sale would be within the Wang family's reach, rendering it impossible for me to escape. Chen Xiao was taken aback. The Wang family indeed wielded formidable power. However, there were countless ways for capital to flee. Rest assured, I possess the means to ensure your departure. Li Chunfeng's eyes widened in astonishment. Chairman Chun, are you serious? Chen Xiao nodded affirmatively. Naturally, we can execute the transaction abroad and utilize local currency. Li Chunfeng was elated. What seemed an insurmountable challenge for him was trivial in the eyes of a magnate. Very well, if that is the case, I am willing to sell the company to you at the previously agreed upon price. Indeed, if you could assist me with a few minor tasks before your departure, I would be inclined to grant you an additional 50 million as a subsidy for overseas property acquisition. Li Chunfeng was taken aback. That was indeed a substantial subsidy for purchasing property. Chairman Chun, please continue. After a moment of deliberation, Chen Xiao resolved that since the detestable Wang family had set their sights on him, he might as well turn the situation to his advantage, preventing future disruptions in any acquisitions. Thus, keep the news of your sale to me confidential. Then, assist me in staging a performance that would portray my acquisition as a failure, leaving the Wang family with the illusion of my extreme frustration. Li Chunfeng pondered. By the time the genuine transaction took place, he would already be abroad. Agreed. I concur. Chen Xiao rose, extending his hand with a smile. To a fruitful collaboration. Li Chunfeng promptly stood, shaking Chen Xiao's hand vigorously. To a successful partnership. After parting ways, Chen Xiao said, Su Tang, please find several companies that are willing to sell. The poorer their performance, the larger their scale, the better. Understood. Su Tang had learned to align her thoughts with those of her boss. She decided to have Li Chunfeng accompany her in the search for more companies interested in selling. Suddenly, it dawned on her. The boss was attempting to muddy the waters, concealing his true intentions. If the Wang family followed Chen Zhao's strategy, they would likely end up with a collection of worthless companies, incurring significant losses. Chen Xiao smiled and asked, Do you understand? Su Tang beamed, nodding her head. Boss, you truly are remarkable. Haha, you are too. On their way back, Chen Xiao leaned against the seat, lost in thought as he gazed at the car's ceiling. Transferring a large sum of money abroad was fraught with complications. This matter would require the assistance of Lu Xinqing, Lu Xuani's father. After all, they shared a bond forged through life-and-death experiences in the Tibetan region. Surely, he would lend a helping hand. If he declined, Chen Xiao mused, he might just whisk away his precious daughter, leaving old Lu in tears. With this thought, Chen Xiao pulled out his phone, opened the messaging app, and sent Lu Xuani a message. Are you asleep? Initially, he only intended to test the waters. but to his surprise, he received a reply shortly after. "I'm asleep." Chen Xiao thought, this girl certainly has her emotions wrapped up in her responses. "Would you like some stinky tofu?" Lu Xuanyi responded with a protest, accompanied by a frustrated and disdainful emoji. Chen Xiao chuckled. "I'm coming to the Magic City to visit you." Lu Xuanyi replied. "Really? When are you coming?" Chen Xiao. 3 days from now. Lu Xuanyi. "Great. I'll be waiting for you." Chen Xiao sent a smiley emoji to conclude the conversation. He turned to Su Tang and instructed, "Make arrangements for tomorrow. We'll head to the Magic City early." "Understood, boss." Chapter 277. The perilous scheme must proceed in a luxurious residence in the Magic City. Lu Xinqing, while watching television with his daughter, instinctively sensed a threat of danger. Nonchalantly, he inquired, "Xuanyi, are you chatting with friends?" "Yes. Chen Xiao is coming to the Magic City in 3 days. You know, he has a friend with whom I've shared life and death experiences. We should all have dinner together." Lu Xinqing jolted with alarm. "What? He is coming?" Lu Xuanyi, with her innocent big eyes, nodded affirmatively. "Yes, what's wrong?" "Oh, nothing at all." Though he said this, Lu Xinqing began contemplating how to concoct a reason to whisk his daughter away from the Magic City within the next 2 days. He could not allow his cherished daughter to fall into the clutches of that scoundrel Chen Xiao. "Dad, what are you thinking about?" Lu Xuanyi asked. "Chen Xiao did help you out in the Tibetan region." Lu Xinqing was at a loss for words. Indeed, Chen Xiao had assisted him by providing tools to gnaw on tree bark when there was nothing to eat. "Rest assured, if I see him, I will treat him well." Hearing her father say this, Lu Xuanyi felt reassured. Little did she know, Lu Xinqing was thinking, if I don't see him, then it won't be my fault. The next morning, after enjoying the delicious meat buns delivered by Dong Shuwen, Chen Xiao stepped outside his car. Old Lu handed him a document. "Boss, this is what Su Tang asked me to deliver to you this morning." Chen Xiao sat in the back seat and opened the document, revealing a densely packed list of companies recently put up for sale. He couldn't help but be taken aback. Had the girl spent another sleepless night? It seemed he could no longer assign her work in the evenings. Upon a cursory glance, most of the companies on the list appeared unfamiliar to him. However, he did manage to identify 4 or 5 enterprises he recognized, yet which had vanished over the course of a decade. He circled their names, instructing old Lu to call Su Tang in the afternoon, considering them as potential acquisition targets for Tungshao Capital. He wondered if the Wang family would follow suit. "Those scoundrels competing with me? I will not let you off easily." Lu Xinyi resided in the prestigious Tanghua, located in the western suburbs of the magical metropolis. This area was renowned for its luxurious estates, boasting only 18 villas, with even the least expensive one worth 400 million a decade later, while the most extravagant exceeded 1 billion. Even in the present day, one would need over 100 million to acquire a property of similar caliber. For the relatively undeveloped economy of 2010, such prices were unattainable for the average affluent individual. Upon entering the community, Chen Xiao gazed out of the car window. The architectural density was remarkably low, with 18 classical European-style villas scattered amidst the trees. In the precious land of the magical metropolis, such an arrangement truly warranted the title of luxury residence. Following the address provided by Lu Xinyi, Chen Xiao approached the 8th villa. He immediately spotted Lu Xingchen watering flowers in the yard. Lowering his car window, he called out, "Hey brother, did you miss me?" Startled, Lu Xingchen nearly spilled his drink, his face a mask of surprise as he exclaimed, "What brings you here? Didn't you say you'd arrive in 3 days?" Chen Xiao casually waved his hand, stepping out of the car. "Oh, I feared you might run away upon hearing of my arrival, so I thought to come early. Curse it, you've outsmarted my anticipation." Lu Xingchen lamented, having barely slept the previous night. Just as he devised a plan, this fellow appeared at his doorstep that very morning. Taking the watering can from Lu Xingchen, Chen Xiao helped him water the flowers. "What is the matter? You don't seem too pleased to see me?" With a resigned sigh, Lu Xingchen replied, "Brother Chen, let us discuss something, shall we? Let us keep family matters out of it. Why speak of misfortune?" Chen Xiao retorted. That is quite ominous. He distinctly remembered Lu Xingchen's earlier boast about his many girlfriends while in the Tibetan region. Based on the reactions of several acquaintances, it was clear he was not exaggerating. "Relax, brother. Xinyi and I are merely friends." Lu Xingchen, skeptical, asked, "Really? With a daughter as stunning as mine? You expect no man to be moved?" "Of course it's true, brother. In fact, I mainly came to see you today and to meet Xinyi as well." Though Lu Xingchen was unconvinced, it was difficult to deny entry to someone already at his doorstep. "All right then. Regardless, a guest is a guest. Please come in." With a smile, Chen Xiao followed him into the living room. "Brother, your house is quite impressive. Are there any vacant properties nearby?" I might consider purchasing one myself. Lu Xingchen, with a cautious expression, replied, No, you won't find any available in this community. If anything opens up, I would secure it at the first opportunity. In order to prevent Chen Xiao from becoming a neighbor to his daughter, Lu Xingchen spent a few billion with great pleasure. Chen Xiao, feeling speechless, casually remarked that he was merely inquiring and had no intention of making a purchase. Lu Xingchen silently thought to himself that he could hardly trust such words. Shortly thereafter, Tian Schumann descended from the upper floor and, upon spotting Chen Xiao, her eyes instantly brightened. Ah, Xiao Chun, when did you arrive? Aunt Tian, I just got here. I hope I haven't disturbed you, Chen Xiao replied. Lu Xingchen felt exasperated. The familial hierarchy had been utterly muddled by Chen Xiao's presence. With a gentle smile, Tian Schumann reassured him, Not at all. Ever since we parted ways in the Tibetan region, I have been wondering when we might meet again. It is indeed rare to share such trials in life. Chen Xiao nodded in agreement. After chatting for a while longer, Tian Schumann stood up and said, Xiao Chun, please make yourself comfortable. I shall go check on Xian Yi. It is already quite late, and she is still not awake. Lu Xingchen expressed his discontent. What is wrong with my daughter sleeping in? Don't disturb her. Tian Schumann shot him an exasperated glance before turning to ascend the stairs. Chen Xiao merely smiled, remaining silent. After nearly an hour of conversation between Lu Xingchen and himself, Lu Xian Yi finally made her entrance from upstairs. She appeared like a princess emerging from a castle, ethereal and untouched by the mundane world. Lu Xian Yi's beauty overshadowed everything around her, with her innocent, clear gaze. Skin whiter than snow, and a tall, graceful figure, complemented by a voice that resonated like celestial music. It was no wonder Lu Xingchen was so protective. Chen Xiao mused that if he were to have a daughter like her, he would be even more vigilant. However, for now, she was someone else's daughter, and while he felt no heartache, he acknowledged that she was likely to attract mischief. Chapter 278. Please introduce me, Chen Xiao, you've come. Her voice was pure and melodious, devoid of any impurities. With just that one phrase, Lu Xingchen felt as though the swan he had nurtured for 20 years was about to take flight, prompting a twinge of jealousy, as his daughter's voice had never sounded so sweet upon seeing him. Oh, actually, Chen Xiao is here to speak with your father about something, but he also wanted to drop by to see you, Lu Xingchen interjected. Chen Xiao seized the opportunity to instigate a little mischief. Lu Xian rolled her eyes, yes, it's about you, you are the most important. Upon hearing this, Lu Xingchen felt a sense of disbelief and promptly turned to Chen Xiao, inquiring, What business do you have with me? Feigning innocence, Chen Xiao glanced at Lu Xian Yi and replied, Oh, it's nothing important. How could it possibly be nothing? Why else would you come to my home? Lu Xingchen pressed. Chen Xiao raised his hands in a gesture of innocence. Lu Xian Yi, displeased, exclaimed, Dad, are you really going to make me treat you like I would Grandpa? You're not that old yet, come on, don't be difficult. Lu Xingchen, exasperated, muttered under his breath. Chen Xiao stifled his laughter and explained, I understand your feelings, uncle. As juniors, we should simply go along with your wishes. Lu Xingchen retorted, You little rascal, that's not what you just said. Lu Xianyi then stood up and said, Chen Xiao, let me show you my beautiful backyard. Ah yes, that sounds lovely, Chen Xiao replied. Uncle Lu, I assure you that Xian Yi and I are good friends, so there's no need for concern. Before Lu Xingchen could respond, Chen Xiao was already being led away by his daughter. In the living room, Lu Xingchen slammed the table in frustration. Just then, Tian Schumann descended from upstairs and gently caressed his chest, saying, Come now, at your age, why allow anger to take hold? Your daughter has been so well protected by you since childhood. It's only a matter of time before someone deceives her. Rather than let her be misled by those ostensibly polite, yet insidiously hypocritical young scions of affluent families, I have greater faith in Chen Xiao. Though he may be somewhat of a flirt, he is certainly not one to let his woman suffer. Lu Xingchen sulked on the sofa, fully aware of the world and its intricacies. He understood this reality well. Chen Xiao, that audacious young man, was undeniably a rogue. Yet he was also someone of grit and responsibility. He dared to confront the Wang family for the sake of a cherished schoolmate, and remarkably, he held his ground. He was aware of the recent happenings, but still, he declared, No, my son-in-law must be of quality. Better to have none than a mediocre one. Tian Schumann sighed, choosing not to further debate the matter. All right, I shall heed your wishes. Sister Wang has prepared soup. Let me fetch you a bowl. Lu Xingchen glanced at his beloved, noticing that her